Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin, and today I'm going to do my March wrap-up. It is probably going to be very quick, very short, easy breezy, snappy. I did not read a lot in March. My birthday was in March, and honestly, I was just it wasn't a slump, but I was really excited to read books, but some of the books I read put me in a slump because they were so good, and then I just couldn't really pick another book after them that I just didn't read because I was too scared to read a book after really good books and have it be disappointing. So I really didn't read a lot, but everything I read I actually really enjoyed, which is really great. So March was a good reading month in terms of quality. It's just lower on the side of quantity, but yeah, so we're going to start with the books that I included in videos that I posted in March. I won't talk about those too much, but the videos will be linked down below if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts and reviews and blah blah blah. So we'll start with those first, and then I'll show you all the books that you may not know I read in March, and we'll chit-chat about those. So I'm going to start with my most anticipated read of the year. My favorite book that I read in March. My favorite book of the year, probably. I know it's really early to say that, but I really can't see a book topping this one, so I think it'll probably stay my favorite book of the year, and that is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I did do a reading vlog dedicated to this book, so I'll link that down below. I'm a Hunger Games girly, what can I say? This is a prequel to the original trilogy. It goes after The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but before the Hunger Games. And this is about the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell, and it's following Hamish Abernathy. And I loved this book. It's 6-star quality. It's a million stars, honestly. I loved every second of it. It was beyond my wildest expectations, honestly. I knew I was gonna love it, but I didn't know that I was gonna love it. It was heartbreaking, it was gut-wrenching. I feel like it connected so many pieces that I didn't know I needed connected, and it just it's going to impact how I read the series. Well, it's going to impact how I reread the series from now on, and I'm just so glad it's included and it got put into a book because I just think it was really needed. I know some people have said that it was a little fan fiction-y and had a lot of fan service, and I disagree. I'm not one of those people that think that. I think that it was a perfect addition to the series, and I loved it. What can I say? Perfect. Mwah. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, 6 million stars. I loved it. Then I filmed a video where I tried some fantasy books. The first fantasy book that I tried in that vlog was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I had a really good time reading this one. It was a little advanced, I think, for a beginner like me. There's a lot of politics and war and folklore and stuff that I just am not used to reading, but it's a really interesting series. I love Rin, the main character. Her reactions are so emotional based, and as someone who also reacts with their emotions, I find it kind of refreshing to have a character like this, but also have her be lovable, because that's usually not something that goes hand in hand, and I just really enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to continuing the series. I have the other 2 books, and I'm definitely going to read them. I think that it was probably not the best series to start with because I am such a beginner, but now that I have started it, I don't regret it, and I will continue reading the series. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars because it was a little hard for me to get into the groove of reading, but what I read I really enjoyed, and I think I'll probably understand more and grasp more as I continue on. I also started the Wayward Children series, so I read Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. This is a very short, weird, cute little novella, and I'm honestly, I'm shocked that I love this one. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I've read Mira Grant's Into the Drowning Deep, which Mira Grant and Seanan McGuire are the same person, and I did not like Into the Drowning Deep, so I was not sure that I was going to enjoy this, but I enjoyed this so much more. The characters are so freaking cute and lovable and adorable, and I loved them all. I've already gotten the next like 4 books because I am into it. I have to read them now. I need to know what's going on. I have to read every single one. I'm addicted. I'm also giving this 4.5 stars. The last book I read in that fantasy reading vlog I got from Book of the Month, and it's Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. I know a lot of people have been talking about this one. I wanted to include a book that was different from the other 2, and this is more like romantasy. This is about reincarnation and souls being tied together, and you get to watch the main character live different lives and what they experienced, and it was just really interesting. I'm very fascinated by reincarnation and the idea of it, so I thought this would be like the perfect book for me. The only thing I didn't love about it was the ending. It kind of did a trope that I personally don't enjoy, but I really liked the rest of the book, so I'm gonna give this about 4 stars, and I'm actually really excited to read more romantasy because I feel like it will be a good genre for me since I do enjoy romance in other genres like thrillers and horror and stuff like that. So I feel like that would be good for me in terms of fantasy. Now on to the books that you didn't see me read during the month. I actually read the entire series of Alice in Borderland. My fiance actually has all these. These are his, and he's already read the series and he wanted me to read it, and this was at the end of the month where I didn't know what to read, but I wanted to read before March was over, so I was like, oh, I can read this real quick, and I ended up reading the entire series. So this is about the main character who feels like his life is just not going anywhere. He feels like he would be better off in a different world, like a different universe. And one night these fireworks happen and him and his friends are transported to this universe, and they have to play these games that are deadly to survive. So I have very conflicting feelings about this series. I liked some of it. I did not like all of it. I love things like Squid Game and Battle Royale, stuff like that. I do enjoy that type of plot, and I expected to love this. I think it just became super repetitive as I kept reading, and I was expecting more. I felt like the games weren't as interesting as they could have been. I think some of the games felt a little lame, and with the stakes being so high, their lives obviously, I was expecting the games to really match that, and it didn't really feel like it did a lot of the time. And I was just, I don't know, I got bored halfway through. I was like, okay, we're meeting characters, okay, cool, playing games, okay. And every little bit of information we got, I just wasn't satisfied. I was like, this is lame. Like, why, what? And I just wanted to know the answer. Like, I just wanted to get to the end and figure out what was going on and just be done. But then when I did get to the end and I did get the answers, I didn't like the answers. I felt like it was a little lame. I'm sorry. I felt like at the end, when you figured out why they were there, why they were playing these games, what had happened, you know, the mystery about the fireworks, like when you found out everything, I was just like, seriously? That's it? Okay, it's fine, I guess. So I just was a little disappointed, I think, from all the hype people place on this series. I was expecting it to be a little bit more. I don't know what I wanted, but just not this. So I would say it's about a 3.5. I gave the volumes around a 3 to a 3.75. That's like the varying rating I gave each volume. So I would estimate that the whole series is around a 3.5. For the Buzzwordathon challenge, which was Things, I believe, in March, I read Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and this is a very short little story that I didn't really know what to expect. I've heard a lot of people love it. I've seen a lot of praise for it, but I never really knew what it was about. But this takes place in Ireland in 1985, and we're following the main character Bill, who is a coal merchant, and he's delivering coal to this convent, and he makes this discovery, and he kind of has to grapple with this decision on what to do about what he saw. It was a little gut punch of a novella. Honestly, I didn't expect to really enjoy this. I didn't expect to like it. But it was actually really beautiful in a weird way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was a beautiful little story. It had some really great quotes. I really liked how it ended. I thought it was going to end in a very disappointing way, but I actually really enjoyed how fast the story moved and then how it ended. I feel like I don't know, it just made such an impact for such a short little story. And I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I definitely want to read more from Claire Keegan. I think I have Foster by her on my TBR as well, so I definitely will check out that next. Also, for the Buzzwordathon, I think for the cover challenge, it was about books. I read Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. This is a cozy little fantasy, and so many of you have told me to read this one. Oh my god, I loved this. I loved this, loved this, loved this. I've already bought the next 2 books in the series because I am so obsessed. I thought this was so cute. So this story is about Raina and Keonthi, and they are in love. They want to open this cozy little bookstore that serves tea. They want to have like a little quiet life together, but Keonthi is like the most powerful mage, and Raina is one of the queen's like highest guards. Something happens with the queen, and Raina decides that she's going to just up and leave, and her and Keonthi are gonna start their life together, and they're gonna build their bookshop, and she's done being a guard for the queen. This was so cute. I loved Raina, I loved Keonthi, I loved their bookstore. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. I want to go to their bookstore, I want to have tea, I want to live in the little village that they're living in, I want to be friends with them. Like, it was so adorable. I can definitely tell a lot of people won't like this. It's very slow. There's not a lot that goes on. A lot of it is just them building their little bookstore, getting things together, opening it up, meeting the village and the people that live in it, and just like starting a life. So it's very slice of life. And when some more action heavy things happened, I was just as invested, and I felt like it was a good balance for me. I know some people won't feel that way, but I thought that the action wasn't too overpowering to the slice of life elements, and I thought the slice of life was a little bit more heavy than the action, but not in a super unbalanced way. I was pleased, and I have to continue the story because I thought that they were adorable. Everything about it, loved. I gave this 4.5 stars. I also read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which I know so many people either loved or hated because there's just like some things about this book that I think people don't really enjoy. It's about Scarlett, who is a diver, and Lucas, who is a swimmer, and they start up this relationship, and they both have like kinks. Scarlett likes to be submissive and Lucas likes to be dominant, and they feel like they're a good match, so they're like, let's have a sex relationship. We'll just keep it sex, no feelings, blah blah blah, you know what happens. And I personally thought it was really fun and enjoyable. I love Ali Hazelwood though. I thought it was funny. I thought it was silly. I thought it was kind of cringy, but in like an enjoyable way, not in a annoying way. So I had a good time. I liked it. I do see the criticisms, but I had a pleasant experience while reading it, so I'm giving it 4 stars. I decided to read the last book in the Gravekeeper series, The Vengeful Dead by Darcy Coates. I read it because I was saving it for my birthday month, and I read it after Sunrise on the Reaping, which was a very bad idea, by the way, because both of those books back to back I think was what put me in a slump because they were 2 like amazing books, and then I was just like, well, nothing's gonna compare this month, so what am I even doing reading? What's the point of reading? Why read? Who needs to read? So I loved this. I thought it was a perfect conclusion to the series. I loved these characters so much. Getting to know them in this series was so wonderful. The story was so well done. It was sweet, emotional, creepy, intense. I mean, like, there was just so much going on, and I loved every second of it. Darcy Coates, man, she's a genius, and I need another series from her immediately, because this one being over is devastating to me, and I'm so heartbroken because these characters were just so wonderful, and I enjoyed reading them every single time I got one of these books. So I am giving this 5 stars, and it's definitely my second favorite book of the month. This was fantastic. And lastly, in this March wrap-up, I did pick up Heartstopper Volume 2. This was also a pleasant, wonderful, beautiful little read. I'm loving this series. I'm so mad it took me so long to start this series. I know everyone loves it. I understand why everyone loves it. Nick and Charlie are so freaking cute. I just want them to be happy forever. I'm obsessed with this series. I did buy the other volumes finally because reading 1 volume at a time was not doing it for me. So I did get the others that I needed so I can finish what's out, okay? So I am giving this 5 stars as well. It's a beautiful, little, fun, easy, good read. And that's going to do it for my March wrap-up, my friends. I told you, not a lot of books were read, but the ones that I did read were really, really, really good. I had a great time reading these books, and honestly, I'm glad that they were my March reads because I needed a good little reading month for my birthday, so I think it all turned out really well in my favor. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you agree, disagree. Let me know what your favorite, least favorite reads of March were. I would love to know because I am very, very nosy. If you enjoy my wrap-ups, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That way I know. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, some fantasy, some science fiction. Who knows now? I'm mixing it all up. And with that being said, I hope you're having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!